Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brittany and today is going to be my quarter one of 2025 journal systems review. So I have my little cheat sheet here, my little list of all my journal systems I'm working in 2025. And I had put a community post out asking if any viewers would be interested in me continuing to do quarter reviews. Yeah, so let's just get in here, and for the ones or one who voted saying you wanted this, I hope that you enjoy this video, and for everyone else who watches, just bear with me. It's probably going to be a lengthy one, and I'll do my best to be brief in each journal. So I do have a little bit of a tidbit that I'm going to add in here that's like a little found treasure for those who've been following along on my journaling journey. But yeah, so let's get into this. Starting from the top. Oh, and also I do want to say I have journals piled everywhere around me. So if at any point you hear a loud crash, I will do my best to pause and edit the video. But that's probably because the journals have fallen. So from the top, we have the 5-year prayer journal. And I am using the Hosanna Revival Versailles journal. Most of these journals, if not all of them, also are talked about further at length in stationery haul videos. I'll link those, or that playlist I should say, in the description box below if any of you are curious to go back and watch those to hear why I was drawn to any of these journals and like what my aspiration and dreams and thoughts were for how I wanted to use each one. But the 5-year journaling system is one that I have changed. I was previously in a, I think it was a Midori embroidered blue 5-year journal. And I did that for about a year. And then I started, thanks to some of my pen pals, I started getting into the Word and reading the Bible. And so I switched to this one. And this was to help me on my journey growing my faith, and I thought it would be so nice to have a 5-year journal to go back through and kind of get like an overview of that journey. So what I've been doing in this one is I have subscribed to Our Daily Bread, and for the days when I don't have a prayer, and I won't show you the ones that I wrote my prayers in, but for the ones that I don't have a prayer written, I take the verse from Our Daily Bread and I write it. So every day I'm either writing a prayer or I'm writing scripture. So, and then I also make a little note to myself down at the bottom for what scripture you would read if you wanted to read the Bible in a year, and that is according to Our Daily Bread, because that is also something I'm trying to do with Heart Dive here on YouTube with Kanoi and Holly. I'm trying to go back through their 2024 playlist and read the Bible in a year for 2025. I'm a little behind right now, but I'm getting there. So this has been wonderful, and I am keeping current in this. So that's great. Moving to number 2, we have my Bible journal, and this is new to me, Bible journaling. I did do a little video on Stationery Haul about this Bible cover and where I got my Bible cover charm, but this journal is my 2025 Bible journal, and it's going well already. Just open this up here. I got this beautiful bookmark. I love how large it is. And basically what I've been doing, here's those tabs that I made on the channel from my art that I did, my abstract art. I've just been going, taking notes at church, taking notes at some of the other churches I watch online, and then following along with Heart Dive on YouTube. And then as I get notes and things that I want to write, I just come in here and I do a little bit of journaling. I make some notes. This is some song lyrics I added in there that I thought was interesting. I am using my fountain pens in here. That's been going well. Some of my rubber stamps I'm also using. I'm doing some tip ends, things like that. So this is going very well. I am slightly behind in this journal just because I am watching and participating in about 4 different churches and 3 different Bible studies. So I'm taking lots of notes and I will get caught up. Alright, so get this one out of the road. Next we have the square bullet journal, and this system was new to me. Hold on, the camera's gonna shake. There we go. This system was new to me because previously, in previous years I should say, I worked in the A5 bullet journal. So this is my first 8x8 square bullet journal. And I have a whole playlist of all of my bullet journal setup spreads. Well, not all of them because I wasn't on YouTube when I first started bullet journaling, but most of them. And then there is a video where I do go back and show you my bullet journal opening spreads from journals I started before I got on YouTube. So I'll link that playlist in the description box below as well if you're interested in that. But I am current in this one, and this journal is the one that I reach for the most just because my life is in this book. My daily task, my chores, my errands, my trackers. What I've been tracking lately are like my postage spending for all of my pen pal letters, anything that I have to ship I put on that. Takeout, because that's something my husband and I are trying to decrease, which that's not really going too well because we've both been so busy already in 2025. And then I have like my social media trackers in here and things like that. So I will say for April, this is going to get bulked up because of course we have Coachella in April. So I always track which stages we watch and which musicians and performances we watch in my bullet journal. And I was inspired to do that thanks to Amanda Rach Lee, a fellow bullet journaler here on YouTube. And I've been doing it ever since. So this is a good experience. I am keeping it. I am continuing with it. I do really love the square. I'm probably going to be staying in a square. And I have 2 here because I've already got my Q3 and Q4 bullet journal, and I've already started to do like the front pages of it. I think I talked about that in a previous video. So that's what the second one is. You're not missing anything. It's just my second part of the year bullet journal. Okay, bullet journal idea book. That is one, let me find it here. And this is that notebook that was free in one of the, was it Sticky Club Sakura box that I bought? And basically I'm just coming in here every month and I'm getting my ideas down for how I want to set my bullet journal up. So like for May of 2025, I'm going to be doing washi diamonds. So I'll just come in here and I'll do like a rough sketch. I know that for the opening, I want to have 3 diamonds where I spell out the month. So then I'll have like some tape here and I'll do like some patchwork to where it looks like a quilt. But that's how I use this. I just do rough sketches. It's nothing fancy. You can see it is very, very messy. But that's where I just get my ideas out. So definitely keeping that. That has been a help. I'm going to continue that. Before I get too far away from the 5-year journal, I want to take a moment and talk about that little treasure that I mentioned at the start of the video. If you've been following along with my journaling and just like my life catch-up stories that I throw here and there in my videos, you'll probably remember that I spent the majority of the winter and the beginning of this year while I was sick doing intense genealogical research. We'll just call it that. I had about 3 different lineage societies that I was working on personally for myself. And then I had another one that I was working on for my husband, and then I was also working on his DNA testing. So long story short, we were trying to gather up documents and vital statistic records for supporting documents for proving lineage. And while he was going around the house trying to find those records, he came across this very precious and delicate journal. And it is a 5-year diary, guys. You're never going to believe this. It is a 5-year diary of his grandmother's. So what a treasure. Very similar style to some of the 5-year journals today. They have a little quote by someone famous at the top, and then you have your days and your lines. And this is such a treasure. And we haven't read all the way through it yet, but just to see her handwriting, because I never met her, and to read a little bit about what they were going through at that time is amazing. And then, of course, it's also been a wonderful thing for my husband to go through, because he was young when his grandmother passed, youngish. And so this is kind of like building or filling in some of those blank spaces for his family history, which is really enjoyable. But this journal covers 1941 to 1945. And we are just so tickled that he found this. It is in pretty rough shape, but because I'm a bookmaker and a bookbinder, I'm going to, off camera, when I have downtime, do my best to recover this book and to rebind it. So that will be a project. I don't know when I'm going to get to that. I really want to take my time on it though, because like I said, it is a treasure. And then something else in the line of genealogical research that is very interesting and that we were just so excited about. When we were discovering this item, along with the other documents he was searching for, he found paperwork. It was really just a note that I think his mother wrote down. She must have started to do some genealogical research, which is interesting because we didn't know that. But she wrote down information about where my husband's grandfather was at in the military. She wrote the base down. And because I was trying to work on my grandfather's World War II records, I saw that the base's name was familiar. And so I reached for my grandfather's records, and I was like, no way. Both of our grandfathers were at the same base. And I wonder if they knew each other. It's fascinating when we find little things like that. And that is exactly why I love genealogical and historical research. But anyways, let's get back into this. So next we have the Commonplace book. And this was something that I learned about from Skillshare. If you remember, I had gotten a year's subscription of Skillshare, and I was tracking how many classes that I took. So this is something that I want to get better at. So that's a goal that's going to continue into 2025. And hopefully sooner or later, I will get with the program or I will stop the book. Let me put that back. The camera will shake. Okay, then I have my 2025 Research and Development book. Now, this is also a new book that I started, and I learned about the idea of a research and development book from Jassy Curran here on YouTube. But this is the one that I chose. It is an 8x8 square. This is from Archer and Olive. And this is where I just do my page layouts. So that is something that I want to continue and keep in the lineup. It's a very good resource. Camera's going to shake. Put that one back. Alright, and then the A5 year in pixel. This is the last one that I have near the camera stand. So hopefully after this one, it'll stop shaking. I started an A5 year in pixel book, and I basically decided that I was going to use one of my Amanda Rachley notebooks and start doing pixels. So this is an old one that I kept, I believe, oh there it is, 2023, and this is when I was tracking the temperatures. And I'm going to get yarn, this color, these colors, and I'm going to make a scarf or a blanket. I'm going to crochet one. So some other trackers that I have done, I think this is just a larger version. It is. It includes the temperatures on it. Are like a health tracker, a period tracker. I have a Bible study tracker, things like that. So this is another one that I haven't really explored or played around with that much, but I do want to keep it. And then I also just like that I have those year-long trackers all in a journal, because I think that that would be kind of similar to a 5-year journal when you're flipping back through it. It's a nice place, central location for those types of things. Okay, next we have the Hobonichi Han Tester. This book I'm absolutely in love with. And then this is where I am doing those sticker collages. These are James Luke Burke stickers. And I do have some stickers from other pen pals in here. And this is just a nice place for me to get those down on the page. And then I do have some months reserved for how I'm going to do a Hobonichi Techo and Han recommendation. And those pages, when I get them done, will be on my Instagram as well as my Pinterest if you're interested in those. I'll do some for how I use mine, and then I'll do some that I think would be nice to try. So I'm definitely keeping that. The Hobonichi Weeks is my posting planner. So this is kind of what I do at the start of a month, is I'll put what content I want to film. I'll kind of map it out at the beginning of the month, and then I'll roughly date them. You can see here where I recorded them later than my estimated date. Then I'll keep notes on like what my goal is for the month. It's something that I wanted to learn with video editing, and I learned a lot in 2024. I haven't really been exploring any new techniques in 2025. I've just been refining my skills on what I previously learned. So like for this month, what was this? This was January. I wanted to learn how to add text to videos, and I've done that. And then I take the thumbnail for the videos that I make. I make all my thumbnails in Canva, and I make little picture strips so that I remember what I released on what day. So definitely keeping this, because not only is this a great reference for when I did what and what I've already done, but it's also a nice little record of what I've learned and how far I've come. So I'm definitely keeping that one. That takes us to the Hobonichi papers. Now, I have been using the Hobonichi A6 covers to house my Hobonichi papers. And what I have been doing is taking my TWSBIs and kind of swatching them. This kind of acts like a swatch book, but it's not. I've been swatching them by writing definitions. And I collect quotes and definitions of unique words. And then this way I have this book of all of these words that I can reference. And then I photograph these with my pens, and they're on my Instagram. So if you're interested in reading those or seeing them, that's where you could see those. This one here is my quote book. Keeping those. Now you'll notice that I have a 3 here, and that's because I do have a an A6 cover that I'm holding off on to see if there are any new Hobonichi papers released in the future that I would like to get, because right now I don't want any of the Hobonichi papers that are remaining that I don't already have. And then that, if I find one, will go in that cover, and it's going to be dedicated to songs and song lyrics. So one of these is definitions, one of them is quotes, and one of them is going to be song lyrics. So that's why there's a 3. Now the next one I have on the list is the Hobonichi Techo. This is my 2025 Hobonichi Techo. And I will say that this has been one of my favorite journals ever since I started it, and I'm definitely going to be keeping this. But in the back is where I've been swatching my washi tapes, and I decided last year that these extra graph pages that are in the back would be perfect for adding all of my washi tapes that I purchased in that year. So I think this is a great record of which ones I get which year. And so these are the ones I've already gotten so far in 2025. So that is the Hobonichi Techo. That's a little bit about how I use it. Definitely going to be keeping that one moving forward. And then the virtual fitness journal that I'm working in, I actually have 2 of them. One of them I haven't technically started yet, but I kind of showed this one for sure on the channel before. And then what I did was I took the free Hobonichi journal that I got in my Hobonichi order, and I've turned it into my next journal for my next challenge. I haven't started this challenge because when it started, or was supposed to start, I was sick. So I'm waiting to start this. Today would be a good day to do that. Maybe I'll hop on the treadmill after this. But this is the one that I was previously working on. I think I left off on day 40. It's a 100-day challenge. I stopped because I got sick and the weather turned cold, so I wasn't able to go to my parks and walk like I usually do. There for a while I was going to a local park every day and walking. I also walked my dog, and then winter came and it was too cold, and then I got sick. But those are my journals. I'm going to be keeping those, and I'd like to finish those this year. That's my goal. And then my geocache journal, you guys know I started on the channel. I made this, I handmade this journal, and this is where I draw and watercolor my geocaches that I found. The ones that I do on the channel are for a geo tour. That is going to continue. I'm just waiting for the weather to turn nice. I woke up to snow this morning. I can't believe it. It's April and there's snow. But as soon as I get nice days, I'm going to be going out to those sites and sketching. So I'm keeping that, and hopefully I will get that finished this year. Junk journals. I'm using a traveler's notebook for that. You guys saw me do this stitching and everything on the channel. And then my junk journal, I put this patch on it. I have some charms. And then I showed you how I did my inserts. This is my 2025 junk journal, and I have been working in it. Now I will say, because I've started my junk journal series on the channel, I'm not going to be doing my 2025 junk journal on my channel. I'm just going to be doing my previous year junk journals so that I can get them caught up and done, because my goal for 2025, my word of the year, is fulfillment, and I want to get those junk journals completed. So those ones are going to be on the show, but not this one. Okay, so I'm keeping that one. And then what's next? The swatch books. Okay. So for my swatch books, I just have the 2. I have this one that is by Ferris Wheel Press, Heirloom Archer and Olive letter size journal, and I got this from the Cozy Journal. I believe it is sold out now, but this is where I've been doing my fountain pen ink swatches. And so the goal is to eventually get all of my fountain pens swatched in the back. This way it'll all be in one place. My fountain pen ink will be with my fountain pen lists, and that's the goal for that one. So these are definitely getting kept and continued. So just put this one back there where it goes. Now the other journals that I haven't really discussed and that aren't on this list but are ones I'm still working in are my Sketchin' Sunday series. I'm still working on that. My 2024 Sketchin' series I'm hoping to finish this year. I never expected to go beyond 2024, but when you get sick, you get sick. And then this year's I've had to reconsider how I want to do that, because again, I got sick at the beginning of the year, the end of last year and the beginning of this year, so I didn't really get to start that the way that I wanted to. I would still like to finish it this year though, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. Then I have my my eco art journal that I started with you guys on the channel. It's a series I started. I'll show you that one. It's where I'm doing my eco art in a journal. Now that, if you haven't watched, is something I learned about last year in my art therapy class that I took. Oh, and I do want to say, for anybody who's following with my art journey, not necessarily my notebook journey or journal journey, I will be sharing some of my projects from this semester's art class, so you have that to look forward to as well. I'm waiting for the class to be over. I have 2 more weeks, I think, and then I'll come on and I'll show you what I've done with that. I do also have this journal that I did with some of my pen pals. It was part of the handmade book club that I belonged to last year. We sent this around to each other. There was 4 of us who participated. Each of us contributed our art, and I'm working on filling that. So there's that. And then my One Piece journals, I'm waiting for season 2 of One Piece, and then I'll be starting a brief or a mini series on that, so you can see my anime and manga sketching. So I think that's all of the journals. If there's a journal that I haven't mentioned but that you have seen on the channel and you'd like to know the progress of it, or if I'm continuing it, please comment down below and let me know that you'd like to see an update on that and kind of where I am with it, and I will do a separate video on that. But that is my Q1 in review. All of these journal systems I am keeping and continuing. The only other ones that I haven't started but that I've acquired are the Stayology, which is in this Galen leather cover. I did a stationery haul on it, which I think I'm going to use for a fountain pen drawing. I just haven't started that yet. And then I have those Midori inserts that I put in this Galen leather cover. This is going to be more for art journaling. And I do still have my Delusions notebook. It's going to be my mixed media art book. And I think that's everything. So yeah, if I forgot something, or if there's something you want to see that I didn't go over, please leave that in the comments below. And I really hope that you've enjoyed hearing about my progress, my little treasure, and where I'm going moving forward. But I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye guys!